Hey, what's happening, folks? We ran into a little bit of a problem here on the mini farm. So what we got is a cool new toy. Pardon the mess. So I picked up this Titan Attachments bale spear. It's rated, sorry, it's rated for 4,000 pounds. Each of the spikes are rated at 3,000, but the frame itself is rated for 4. So that should be plenty. I like the idea of having the 2 spikes. I may end up changing them to the vertical setup like that. As you can see, it has the 2 collars to put the smaller stabilizer spikes in if you want to run just a single, sorry guys, 3,000 pound spike on the top, etc. So I was really excited to get that in. I got it in on a day where I was trying to beat the rain to move. I have a couple bales sitting on my trailer. They're 2,000 pound bales. And so I wanted to get those moved into the cow pen. They were just about out of feed a couple hours before the rain came. But unfortunately, here's where the problem came in. The previous owner, this is a single owner tractor prior to me, at some point had bent the skid steer quick attach setup. So I'll show you just to kind of put it into perspective a little bit. If you look straight down that line and you try and line it up with the other one, yeah, it's bent, and it is bent to the point where I could not properly attach it. I could get one side in, but the other side I couldn't. So I read online. A lot of people said, "Oh, that's really common. This tube in the center, it can actually twist, and there won't be any visible signs like chipped paint, cracked paint, or whatever." I guess it's really common with these. So I tried to do what a lot of other people said to do, which is hook a chain to a tree and try to use your hydraulics to bend that back forward. That didn't work. So I get to cut the tube in half and straighten things out, get everything kind of synchronized there, and then run a good new bead on that. So ideally what you'd want to do is you'd want to get a sleeve on there, some sort of a sleeve, or even just a half of a tube that the inner diameter was close enough to the outer diameter of this, so then you can weld that on kind of like a fish plate. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like that, and I need to get some work done. So eventually I would like to weld on a sleeve or some sort of a fish plate type setup. But until then, I got work to do. So, and for those of you that don't know a whole lot about welding, the weld itself is stronger than the steel that you're actually welding. So enough jabbing. I'm gonna use my angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. We're gonna cut that in half. Now, being careful, realizing that there could be potentially some stored energy somewhere in this, and it might want to move on me once I finish the cut. So just be careful. I'm gonna put on some hearing protection and some safety glasses and get to cutting. We got my 1/8 inch cap that I'm hoping for, and we have these lined up just about perfect right now. So you can, I know it's kind of hard to tell with all the other crap going on there, but probably hard to tell with the GoPro too. But anyhow, they're lined up good. So something else is tweaked on this. I'm not sure if it just happens to be alignment of the overall the weldments on this assembly. You know, there's a lot of parts and pieces here that all come together to make one assembly, and it doesn't take a whole lot for something to get thrown off and leave you with what I'm looking at right now. So what I have is, so you can probably tell by looking at it, these tubes aren't perfectly lined up here. So I'm using a small piece of angle iron to steady it. My hopes were to get them lined up absolutely perfectly, but I can't do that. So if I get these lined up absolutely perfectly, this one moves back. There's nothing that I can do about it. I wish I wish that wasn't the case, but I guess what I told myself is, if it comes down to me not being able to use my tractor because this isn't perfect, then that's I'm just not going to do that. That's not going to be perfect, and I'm going to get to use my tractor. So I'm going to give these sides a little whack just to open up this gap just a hair more, yeah, so we're gonna go from there. I'm not sure. I may end up doing a multi-pass, do a nice thin pass just to kind of, you know, I'm not really sure. Do I just give it one hot pass and just burn heavy on each side going back and forth? Some of you are going to disagree with the way that I weld, and that's okay. I like to pull the bead. Some people say with MIG you absolutely have to push the bead, and that's the only way to do it. That's the way that they were taught, and that's gospel. You can push or pull. There's been study after study after study on that. There are applications where pushing is better, and I do push, but for the most part I pull. So go ahead, save your breath on that. If you have a really good reason as to why you like to push, go ahead and put it there. That's fine. But anyhow, so we're gonna get to welding. Sit tight. Okay guys, so I'm going to admit welding upside down is one of my weaknesses. It just is. Like I said, I didn't go to school for any of this. Welding upside down is it's just a weakness. So I'm going to do my very best here. I'm going to give it one more tack down here. I'll come up, do full seam all the way around. I am just gonna make it real hot and get as good a penetration as I can on each side. That's just the way it's going to have to be done. If it fails, then it fails, and I can always improve it. So that's the good thing about steel. If you screw it up, you can always start over. So I'm going to go get some actual gloves, and we'll get going here. All right, guys, brand new, never been used before. Well, pretty comfortable. So now if my weld looks like crap, I'm going to blame it on the new gloves. Okay. So it's all welded up. Like any welder that's not proud of his work, I'm gonna come back through with the flapper wheel and just kind of clean up some of the ugliness. It turned out all right. I'm happy with it. It should work. And like I said, if it doesn't, well, I get to start over. So not too big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and grind that down, clean things up, get some primer on it, and try hooking up to an attachment. All right, so it worked. Everything lined up. You can see the two sides locked in good. I just happened to have a little bit of blue paint, so well, Ford blue. So yeah, I'm real happy with the results. Everything turned out good. I can now get back to work. I need to move this trailer so I can bring the bale straight back. So here's two 2,000-pound bales of some beautiful second cut baleage. So yeah, looking forward to getting the cows back onto some baleage. Yeah, otherwise everything's going real good here, guys. We're going to be getting 12 yards of gravel to put down in the trailer parking area, so that's another reason that I needed to jump on that right away so I can spread that gravel out. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope all is well for you. Take good care, and we'll catch you on the next one.